So the thing is it turns out if you wash your hands too much, it's actually terrible.
Why?
Because the only germs that are left behind are super germs. And so it's actually important for you to let yourself have a steady intake of some germs, because what happens is if you wash your hands all the time, the only germs that are left behind to reproduce are the germs that are the strongest and the most resilient. So you need some kind of like weaker germs to stay behind to mate with those super germs.
Two things. One, how often is a lot?
Like if you are constantly in
like that's all you do.
Like you open the door to go to like a Firehouse Subs to get yourself a Subway sandwich in the middle of your lunch day, and you're just like, "Where's my hand sanitizer? I need to rub that shit all over my hands."
Okay, so like it's interfering in your life level. These germs are just like, it's a big super germ orgy on your hands.
Right.
Because only the super germs are left behind. Some kind of Third Reich cleansing of the races has happened on your hands.
Well, it's like Universal Soldier, except with germs.
Exactly.
And all of them are really into doing it and not so much fighting.
You know you don't get Subway at Firehouse, right?
Well, you get a Subway sandwich there. It's still a Subway sandwich, isn't it?
I think it's a submarine sandwich. Like a sub
Okay,
sandwich.
so it's obviously not a Subway sandwich, but yeah, it's a submarine sandwich. It looks like a submarine.
I just wanted to make sure you knew those were two separate sandwiches.
Yes. No, I know those are two separate... I thought it was always called a Subway sandwich.
In response...
Hello, and welcome to this wonderful, beautiful, amazing day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I am Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Weekly. This week, Jake has felt the salvation. There is a deck that is currently in this very, very new and virgin standard that gives Jake a little bit of comeuppance. We're going to talk about it.
Oh man, I'm so excited. In our attack and main phase, we've got a lot of new info on MtG Arena, and we're going to get into that this episode, so stick around, put on the Velcro patches to your pants, and make sure you Velcro yourself to your chair.
Before we move into our main phase 1, last weekend we had our first touch, we had our first little taste, we had our first little of the new standard.
Thankfully, I looked at a list and it didn't just say Teamer Energy.
It actually, honestly, I saw a lot of, familiar names on the lists.
Yeah.
But it was nice that none of them were Teamer Energy.
Yeah, well, there was like a Teamer Dinosaurs, but other than that...
SCG Classic Dallas, we had Mono Red Aggro at spots 1 and 2, Blue White Auras, which is a deck we're going to talk about later, at 3, Mardu Vehicles at 4, Green Red Monsters at 5, Mardu Vehicles again at 6, and then Teamer Dinosaurs at 7, and then rounding it out, Mardu Vehicles again. Welcome back, Mardu Vehicles.
Yes, I hope you held on to your Heart of Kirans and you didn't try to get rid of them too soon, because they are back to play.
And then we also had Team Constructed, and the standards there were Mardu Vehicles at 1, Green Black Constrictor, welcome back at 2, Sultai Energy, you naughty energy player, you're trying to get away with it, Mardu Vehicles again at 4, Red Black Aggro at 5, Teamer Monsters at 6, Grixis Control at 7, and then Blue Black Control rounding out the top 6. Now, we're not going to get too deep into these. We're going to talk about Blue White Auras in our main phase 1. My point that I wanted to make with this is that I think we're going to see more Rivals cards come into play as we move along. Sure. The set came out on Friday. A regular player, standard player, is not going to be able to get a bunch of new cards from a new set to play at a tournament the next day.
Had they not done the emergency ban on Rogue Refiner and Attune with Ether, we would just see a bunch of Teamer lists.
It would be
because
Teamer
nothing would have changed. All of those people would have said, well, I don't really need anything of the new set.
Right.
Like Jade Light Ranger is kind of making its way into that Rogue Refiner spot for the people that are still deciding to play it.
I think this was just a holdover. I think it's nice to see some variation. I hope we're going to see even more variation as we move forward.
Yep.
As we move into our main phase 1, there was a while ago where Jake bought a little card called SRAM Senior Edificer.
Well, it wasn't actually pronounced Senior.
SRAM Senior Edificer was a great card. He's a little draw engine. Jake was sure that he would be making a standard splasho.
Yeah, I was actually really excited when I would see 1 or 2 copies after it proved to not be a card. I was playing it in the wrong deck, though. SRAM got put in the wrong deck. We thought it was going to work well in a vehicle shell.
Yep.
Built around, like Consulate Dreadnought and Peace Walker Colossus and animating vehicles, and it just didn't work there. But finally, and we're going to give credit where credit is due, Jim Davis. This is his list.
We saw it at SCG Dallas Classic.
Yes.
A blue-white aura deck that took down 3rd place.
Yeah.
And played SRAM Senior.
4 copies of SRAM.
4 of.
And the deck, I've been watching it on Twitch. People have been playing it because it's like popping up everywhere. It's becoming one of the bigger decks.
Right.
And a lot of people are excited about it. It draws a relentless amount of cards.
Yeah.
It essentially, you just play cheapo little dudes like Sacred Cat. Let's talk about Adanto Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
1 white, 1 other for... guys, this card is insane.
It's so good. It is so good. I've been playing it online. This card is so good. You just swing in with it every turn.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And if they want to block with it...
Fine, pay 4 life.
A lot of people are finding like they don't even want to block it because they know you're just going to pay the 4 life.
Because I would say, if a card said 0 was the mana cost and it said pay 4 life to destroy target creature...
Yeah.
With with toughness 3 or less, a lot of people are going to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to run that card.
Yeah. But it's a crazy list, man.
Yeah.
And
your seniors are on the scene.
Yeah. They're there.
They came to the fiesta.
In the main board, there's only 12 cards that are actually auras that are going to trigger off of SRAM.
Yeah.
But it's actually enough. Cartouche of Knowledge comes with the draw engine inside. Just simply by playing it, you draw a card. Curious Obsession, whenever damage is dealt, you draw cards.
Right.
So the thing
and you're attacking. You don't have to worry about sacrificing Curious Obsession.
The deck goes wide quickly with Legion's Landing and Cartouche of Solidarity. Like, you play your SRAM, and if you're holding like White Cartouche and Curious Obsession, for 4 mana, you're playing SRAM, you're playing 2 auras, you're drawing 2 cards.
Right.
Like, you're making a dude. The deck goes wide quickly. I'll tell you what it dies to, though. This is where it dies.
Removal.
It dies to hard... Well, the thing is it bounces back from spells like Fatal Push, but a complete hose for the deck is Sweltering Suns.
Yeah.
Any kind
Your
of
other favorite
board wipe... Yeah, Sweltering Suns, and I would wager these mono red decks that came out in 1st and 2nd probably had a leg up on the deck because of cards like Sweltering Suns, because of cards that, just remove these dudes and... you put this deck on the defensive, having to defend against the onslaught of mono red. It's just like, that's the real only weakness, though. I'm seeing people go 4-1, 5-0 with this deck in leagues.
Yeah.
It just tramples over a lot of the competition. It's pretty good.
All in all, Jake, final thoughts on having 4 of SRAM Senior in a deck.
Well, dude, after buying literally, and dude, I just want it to spike a little bit, but after buying probably 150 copies of the card.
I think it's
Please don't judge me.
I think it's safe to say that you bought caboodles.
I have 50 foil copies and at least 100 non-foil copies of this card, you guys.
Well, it's great. If it goes up to $2, you're in the money.
Oh my god. But you know what, man? It makes me feel like dancing.
It makes you feel like dancing.
It makes me feel like dancing.
Moving into our attack step. This last week we got a lot of information about MtG Arena, specifically the economy. I say that we got a lot of information about it. We didn't get a lot of specifics, but we did get like a general feel for what's going to be involved. One of those is the fact that, as of right now, in this trading card game,
there's not
going to be any trading.
There is no trading.
Now, that could mean a lot of different things. There could be no straight up trading. There could be no kind of auction house style thing where, you know, you put it up on the auction house and it's like, I've got a extra whatever, Carnage Tyrant, and it's gonna be 30 gems for you to have. Yeah. And then somebody buys it for 30 gems, and when you get back on, there's 30 gems in your account.
I have to say, I think this choice is a big swing and a miss. I think what Wizards is trying to do is they're trying to answer Hearthstone here.
Sure.
And
of course.
I think, and I know we've already been talking about this, but I think that if you're gonna rip off Hearthstone, just do it.
Just do it, man. Just do it.
I get it. This is a game that's built for casual players,
right.
But if you're looking to bring any of the audience from MTGO over to MTG Arena, you just wash your hands of any of that, because those people are going to continue playing Modern League. They're going to continue playing Legacy, Cube, Vintage. They're going to play Standard League. They're going to go get the cards from the bots.
It sticks me with the same frustrated question that I have for these things. Who is it for? Who is this product for? Who is it for?
I think it's for the casuals that don't have the big, collection.
Man, I would play it. It seems like a lot of fun, but I value my time, and I'm at a place in my life where I have more money than I have time. Okay? So I'm not going to come home and sit for 6 hours a night and play. I'm going to come home and maybe play for like 45 minutes at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Wife will watch something on Netflix. I'll turn this on my laptop, half watch the Netflix, half play MTG Arena. But what that means is I want to be able to go on there and be like, oh man, I saw this sweet blue-black flying pirates deck. I want to just go on and buy that deck and play it in a league or whatever that ends up being in constructed play.
Yeah, you would rather trade the money for the time spent
exactly
at this point,
than to go in there and like earn the 4 Kitesail freebooters, earn the 4 Warkite Marauders, and it's random. It's random. You either have to earn the wild cards. We'll go over the specifics of the economy in main phase 2 and talk about the good points. But the thing right now that is the attack from us is time versus money.
Yeah, no trading and no crafting system.
Right.
If you want
it's the wild cards.
If you want to let me, yeah, there are wild cards, but
and you got to earn a 4 you need to rip off
you can get a wild. They need to make it to where you can go in, buy 30 packs, and then dench everything you don't want in that moment. You don't need to have 4 of each copy.
Yes.
You just need to be like, well, look, if I'm playing block Ixalan, which is essentially what the game is when it comes out, it is a block format Ixalan. You get Rivals of Ixalan and whatever Ixalan.
It's like I'm going to have... Okay, in Limited, I would play a 3-1 for 2, possibly.
Yeah.
In Constructed, I'm never going to play a 3-1 for 2.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And so, why can't I dench those? I have to have 4 of them. I have to earn 4, because then the 5th or the 6th one can be... is essentially auto-denched and goes towards...
You have to have that crappy vampire 3/1 flyer for 4.
Right.
You have to have all that.
Exactly.
Which is absolutely silly.
And I should just be able to kill those cards and turn them into what I want to play.
Yeah. Because as we move forward, I imagine MTG Arena will update with the new sets that come out, obviously.
Which is another problem. So you have to put more time into it. I already collected all of Ixalan. That's not going to carry over to Dominaria, say.
And so the problem is you can't even dench cards. You can't even dench that old deck.
Exactly.
And turn it into a new deck.
You just have to collect. Now I have all of Ixalan that's not playable anymore.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of problems, and we hope they fix them, really.
I mean, dude, honestly, I don't want to keep talking about the bad parts of MTG Arena.
Sure.
I keep thinking about...
It's in its infancy.
Just imagine this, right?
Yeah.
An adorned pouncer with a cartouche of knowledge and a cartouche of solidarity.
Are you talking about blue?
It's in the air. It's swinging for 6 at this point because it is powerful. And even if they kill it, you're going to get it back out of the graveyard. Suit it up again. And you've been drawing so many cards because you got SRAM on the field. I'm telling you, man, this makes me want to like play with little tiny toy dinosaurs. Alright, so moving on from our attack step and into our main phase 2, we just talked about all of the problems that we have with MtG Arena. Now we're going to talk about some of the good stuff.
So, what they've got going on there are gems and coins.
Yes.
Gems can be purchased, coins can be earned.
Yes.
You can earn cards for winning matches, and these will be like commons, uncommons, singles, 2-ofs that are just kind of given to you. And I think there's a cap on them. I'm not sure exactly, like a certain amount of day that you can earn from winning.
Yeah, it'll be like
winning
quest
matches.
Rewards or whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
And then they do have quests that give you coins. And, okay, and then a pack is 8 cards.
Yeah.
And it's
1 rare.
1 rare or mythic.
Right.
2 uncommons, and the rest are commons.
Yes.
And sometimes you could get wild cards. Wild cards are of the specific rarity, and you turn those in for a card of that rarity.
And we do not know the drop rate on those, but we do know that there will be common wild cards, which is kind of a
common, uncommon, and rare mythic wild cards.
Right.
As we said in the attack step, you will have to keep up to a 4 of any specific card in the set. But on your 5th, 6th, subsequent cards after that, it's auto-denched for you into credit towards this thing they're calling the Vault. And the Vault, as of right now, is giving out wild cards of, you know, whatever rarity, I guess. And then in the future, it'll give out different stuff, maybe?
I hate to go back to our attack step here for a second, but honestly, you know, why force us into, you know, like, collect 4 copies of this card?
Right. I don't need 4 contract killings.
If you're going to make me collect all the cards, just make it to where I can't open anything that's in excess of 4.
Exactly.
Like, once I've gotten 4, I should never open that card again.
Yeah, that's
it should just be a different card. That's how they did it on Duels of the Planeswalkers. Right. I don't know why they wouldn't just do that again here. Probably because a little bit of this. But we are in the second main phase.
But yeah, they've got to make money. I mean, they've got... Let's just be honest. This is all a front for Wizards to make money. It's all a mystical, magical front for them to make money. Crazy.
Yeah.
So they got to figure it out somehow. Other good parts.
Yes. There are good parts. There are good parts.
There will be drafts. And these will be full 15, 14 minus the land booster card packs that you draft with. And you get to keep the cards. So maybe you just go through there and you're like, oh, I needed a negate. I will take that even though I'm drafting red right now.
That's actually not even a bad... That's not even a bad plan.
Maybe you just know. Now, drafts cost money.
Yes, obviously
draft costs money. How much
money.
that'll cost? We don't know.
We don't know. I imagine it'll be somewhere around the $10 price point, maybe like $9.99.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to FNM.
Yeah.
I have money budgeted for FNM.
Or it's Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I want to draft right while I'm drinking my coffee.
Yeah, because the constructed format is going to be block Ixalan. It's going to be Rivals and originally Ixalan.
It's good. But it's good for playing on this eventually. This is the goal right here.
Yeah.
I want to play
because that's what everyone's doing
on
Hearthstone.
Right. I've played Hearthstone on my phone. I've played Eternal on my phone.
Yeah.
I want to play Magic Arena on my phone.
That's the thing about Hearthstone is Hearthstone is super dumbed down. You can drag a card, click on a card easily.
Right.
You don't have to like hold it down.
No.
Select an ability. Do all this and all that.
Yeah.
I feel like
from what
Hearthstone
and
MTG, they're apples and oranges.
Yeah, but the interface, they've made it very intuitive and they've worked very hard to make it super simple and flow from what I've seen. So I think it's headed in the right direction. If they can figure out some of the complaints with the economy and or double down on it and just make it clear to the people like us that would rather just go and buy a deck or have a cheap draft, that this is for casual players, or for not for casual players. I should stop saying
I don't even
it's
think,
for casual play.
Dude, I don't even think that that's...
Because I'll still play it.
I don't
play
even
it for
think
fun,
that's
like I played
a bad thing to say. If
No.
you're saying, hey guys, look, we've come out... and
This is like Duels of the Planeswalkers, but really good.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the thing is if you just say, look, this is, you know, a different format, it's essentially, it's a block format, right? When it comes out, you're going to be playing just Ixalan cards. You know, people are going to figure out their own decks that are best in that format. I imagine the format will get solved quickly.
Absolutely.
And one deck will reign supreme. But, you know, we'll see.
Or maybe
how
not.
it goes. Yeah, you never know. Maybe a lot of R&D went into it. I'm not going to count
looking
my
forward to the
chickens
future.
before they hatch.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the draft looks and works when that is finally released.
I am parched. And it has me thinking. It has me thinking about... Just imagine for a second, if you will, an Adanto Vanguard with a Squire's Devotion. And so you're swinging with it. And it has lifelink.
Yeah.
And they don't know if they need to block with it. They don't know if they need to take the damage. Because now you're gaining the life and you can pay the 4 to make it indestructible. This deck, man. Jim Davis's Blue-White Auras deck.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
It makes me want to just, I don't know, man, chug my water.
Moving to the end step, I'm full of water.
I am definitely going to survive at least an hour in the desert.
I don't know if this feeling was worth that bit.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
This weekend, we've got GP Houston and GP London. They're both limited. More not standard after all the standard changes.
Hard to get any kind of read when it's a limited tournament. But
yeah, we do have the SCG Philadelphia, and that's an open team constructed.
Yes.
And so we'll see some standard decks running around in there with the modern and limited, legacy stuff.
Yeah.
I've got water, man. It's a water thing.
You know, we appreciate you spending your time with us.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us.
If you're hyped on MTG Arena, don't let our attitude toward it get you down.
Other than that, thank you for spending your time with us. Let us know what you think about MTG Arena down below. Let us know what standard deck you're working on down below. In the next couple episodes, we're going to talk about the community standard decks, our community standard decks that we got coming up. So let us know what you're playing below, and we might reach out to you and feature you on an upcoming episode. Follow all the social media links below, blah, blah, blah. You know it's all
just go down there, click some buttons.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons down there. Click like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe. Just click buttons.
If you do want to subscribe, subscribing is the best way to support our channel.
Listen to this. Do you hear this? Okay, I don't live right next to an airport, but we live under the fly lane of an airport. I do, and we film at my place. So if you ever hear that noise in an episode, it's a frickin' plane. We try and stop as much as we possibly can. But I just... God, it's the water. I'm sorry I'm burping on camera. It's the water.
Planes and so many burps this episode.
And we live on an exterior unit, so the road is right out there in this food truck.
I told you to never say exterior unit to me.
I'm tapped out.
I am this Stegosaurus. Someone captured my essence and put me inside of this.
That's deep.
And this is me on a search for meaning.